we all go through that. That's such a universal thing. And I know that I've had my own like personal difficulties with it, but I think that it's something that can speak to a lot of people on a personal level. And I just hope that it helps somebody who's going through something be able to say, hey, look, I'm not a rebound. I'm so valuable the way that I am.
So as far as that, you know, we have a lot of artists that listen to our program. And so I want to know what the process was for you starting to write this tune. Were you sitting in a cafe? Were you at home? Were you on a train? How did you start writing, and how did you come up with the words? And, you know, just give us a little sound bite about that process.
Absolutely. So this particular track, I wrote over the track. So that's, sometimes I'll write acoustically, sometimes I'll just top line to a track. So I heard this track, and I was in the process of having just graduated, and all these things were kind of marinating, and I wanted to just kind of be able to like come up with a phrase to really summarize that. Mm-hmm. And being a rebound means it has so much symbolic presence. Like, you've got rebound in basketball, but you know, there's that like the idea of a ball bouncing back, and like we are bouncing back, but at the same time, we can't be taken for granted as someone who can just go like that. So I think I just kind of heard the beat. I kind of felt what I was feeling, and I just sang along to it. Typically what I do when I'm writing is I'll kind of feel the vibe of something, and I'll sing along to it, and I'll try to like really emulate that message. And then I'll go back and I'll go through all the lyrics, and I'll try to present myself in a way that can really speak to people on a more personal level.
So what I'm hearing is that you heard the beat first.
Right.
You just heard a beat, and then the words came about.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right. So I just kind of feel the rhythm, I guess, of that particular song. I was just, ain't no rebound. You know, I just kind of heard that.
Okay.
And that's something that was so, so true to me at that moment. And I was just like, no, I'm not. So that's kind of the hook, like, no. I was just like,
okay, so no, you're not. So
right.
That's the process. I really like artists. You know, we're here. We're underground, above ground, but we're underground, literally underground. We're an underground station, and we want to just not speak to our listeners, but we want to speak to our artists, because we work a lot with artists who nobody knows, and maybe some do know, but we're here to push people. So a lot of people are just in their rooms craving about, okay, how do I do this? How do I go about? Okay, so at first it came from personal experience. Is that correct to say?
That is completely correct.
Okay, so yes. It was a personal experience. Then she heard a beat, and then she formulated the words based on her experience on top of the beat. So this is how she came about the process of her song, No Rebound. Now, let me ask you, how did you meet that cat, Astro Cat? What is an Astro Cat? How you meet him?
So actually, it was through Carl.
Oh, no, it's not Carl, honey. It's the illustrious Carl Van Nevius the third. Don't get it twisted, honey.
The illustrious. Yes. So he connected us, and he was like, hey, you know, we've got this great DJ, and he thinks that he might want to do something with your song.
Okay.
And the rest is history. Here we are.
Immediately heard it. I was like, wow, I heard something click, and I honestly been working on it for days, and I just like love working with the voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
I can either work with a voice really well, and I get addicted, and I just want to make like 5 records about it. So I definitely love the voice, and I love the song.
Well, I might have a job for you, Astro Cat.
Got a lot more where that came from. So. Well, what I've heard so far, I'm very excited about. So, and yeah, it's so exciting too to kind of go through this process and come up with something, and then like have somebody else's artistic process be a part of that. I think that's such a powerful thing. So, of course, yeah, no, thank you.
So, so you met Astro Cat. And let's move forward a little bit. So you got in. What did you do? Did you send them your tracks already, or how did that process go? What did you do?
So it was kind of like, all right, here's this DJ. He wants to make a remix, and I was like, all right, great. So I sent over just the stems, so the parts that you can, just like the straight acapella track.
Yeah, the acapella
And-
vocal part.
Mhm.
So for you
Right.
artists out there, you know, you can send your acapella to your favorite DJ, and she sent hers. Emily Georgia sent hers to AstroCat, and he put something together. Now,
did.
what went into this? I hear about all these artists. I'm hearing about Depeche Mode. I'm hearing about Kravitz. I'm hearing about all this kind of stuff. So what has that got to do with your remix? What has that got to do with that?
So that was completely, he just took what I had already made and he put his own personal artistic spin on it, which I think is so amazing.
Okay.
And I love that art can do that. It
Okay.
can be someone's own creative expression and then become somebody else's. And it's just, in the end, it's this huge mix of so much and like so many different people's experiences, which is really cool. So he took that and he just did his thing.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, where are you from, Emily, Georgia? Where are you from?
So
I thought you were from Georgia. I was like, I thought it was Emily from Georgia.
Emily from Georgia. No, that's my middle name. I get that a lot, though. A lot of people are like, "Oh, what part of Georgia?" I'm like, "Oh, no,
Because
that's
I'm
actually."
from Georgia. I'm from the ATL, you know. So I was like, okay, she's
I love
from
Atlanta,
Georgia.
though.
Oh, yeah.
Atlanta's great.
Yeah, yeah. So where are you from?
I'm originally from right outside of Meadville, Pennsylvania. I
Okay.
grew up. So picture like the house that I grew up in, and then 160 acres of woods. So very.
Oh, that's crazy.
Very rural. And I lived there until I was about 13. Just completely just hanging out in nature, totally disconnected from the whole world of pop culture, which is crazy.
No, you
to a
one of those
degree.
people that hugs trees. You know, I got a friend and we go
Hug tree,
out
I don't
and
hug
she walks
trees.
by and she's vegan
You know-
and she hugs trees and she talks about to me about wearing fur and leather. I said, girl, you better get out of here. It's cold.
I'm not.
You better get out of here, honey. I need my fur right now, child. I'm sorry. You go hug that tree. So you
know,
were in nature. What happened?
I was in nature, and I have a great respect for the world and nature. But I just grew up there. It
okay.
was, and then I moved to the city when I was 13. So I mean, I don't personally go around hugging trees, although I do respect their validity.
He was hugging a
for-
tree. I was like, girl, it's cold. We got to get out of here, honey. I need my fur and get away from that tree. It's cold. I got to get where I'm going.
I feel that.
So you grew up in a small place.
I did, and then I moved to Pittsburgh
Oh,
when I
okay.
was in high school.
Okay.
So I was in Pittsburgh, and then I was at the University of Pittsburgh for the first 2.5 years of college,
Okay.
and then I transferred to NYU,
Oh, so you
And-
came to the Big Apple.
and then I came to the Big Apple.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was
You
about
wanted a
2
bite
years
out of
ago.
this apple, girl.
I did.
And how you end up from there all the way in Biggie's place down underground, honey?
I know.
You have made it.
Well, it's you just gotta. It's a lot of when people love to like move in groups, but sometimes if you want to do something, you just have to be like, all right, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
So I did. I mean, I've kind of always been independent like that, I guess.
Yes, uh-huh.
And so I went to NYU. It was a semester-long program.
Okay.
And then I transferred to the new school, and I ended up making my own degree in romantic language and artistic expression. So I speak Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese.
Oh,
and,
wow. Honey, she's got beauty and brains, okay? Beauty and brains. Okay, we got a brunette over here. She's got red on for Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And, and she's got brains. So I am doubly impressed with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, what I want to know is we got Quinn over here, and he's your dancer. Now, how'd you find him? He looks like a DJ.
He does look like a DJ.
He needs to get on the 1-2, and then he can dance and DJ, and he'll be a. Can you sing, Quinn? Can you sing?
So I was playing a show actually for the premiere of No Rebound
Okay.
in Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And it was a house show.
Okay.
And Quinn was there, and he came up he was like, oh, and then I just happened to see him when we were both walking on the
Okay.
street
Okay.
afterwards. And he was like, hey, I think we could really work together while doing some marketing promotion, and just so we've been working together ever since.
Oh, that's wonderful. And then you got your PR person, your camera person. We got Alec here, honey. He's just snapping away. Snap, snap,
Doing-
snap,
yeah,
snap,
so
snap.
I'm working with a lot of great people in Pittsburgh,
Yes.
which is really great because as an artist, sometimes it's difficult to find a community
Yes.
that you can really resonate with. And I feel like, I mean, I'm back recently. I've been from New York, Pittsburgh, a little bit of the back and forth.
Okay.
But it's really great to be able to find people that are all about the art and all about making great art and ready to support that, and that I can support them.
Yeah.
So that's really great. And I feel like that's a healthy and supportive community that, and, you know, people that are pushing me to make sure, like, all right, let's hear that song. What are you doing in this part? You know, just like always getting that criticism. I think that's really healthy.
Oh, that's good, you know. And so, you know, to you artists out here, sometimes you can't do it alone. You need an entourage. You need, and bring people up who have helped you. You know, just don't forget the people. And she has her
Absolutely.
own photographer here. She has dancer here, and they're personally invested. They're just not some person she hired. They're people that she knows, and she's trying to bring them up with her, and they'll benefit from that too. So that's what artists should do. This is the path. And the best fortune of all is that she met the illustrious Carl Van Nevius III of Code NYC magazine, who gives lots of people lots of chances. So everybody needs a chance, and we thank Carl Van Nevius, the illustrious Carl Van Nevius III, for finding you. It has been such a pleasure, and I know that DJ Astrocat is getting her music together, and it is no rebound. Now, how can we reach you, Emily Georgia? Give us some social media.
Absolutely. So my Instagram is Emily Georgia Official. Emily, EMILY, and then Georgia spelled like the state, and official.
Ooh, I'm a Georgia peach.
So please feel free to follow me on there. Keep in touch. My Facebook is emilygeorgia.music. My email is emilygeorgia.booking@gmail.com. If any of you artists out there would like to collaborate, any producers, I'm all about working with people, and I think that art in general and just like making music is really it shouldn't be an individual thing. I know that there have been times in the past where I've felt like super isolated, you know, just in my room writing songs with my guitar, and that I feel like are never going to get heard anywhere.
Oh, you play guitar?
I do. I play guitar and piano.
Oh, wow. So we got a real musician here, because a lot of times people sing, and, you know, singers really don't get that much respect behind the scenes, I can tell you now. You know, we still very much have to get singers more respect, but when they're able to play music and they're able to read music, for those of you who are singers, I kid you not, you must at least play piano. I mean, you don't have to be Mozart, but you must play piano, and you must be able to do something with those 88 keys. If it's just put a basic line down, and try your best to read sheet music too. Do you read music too?
I do. I graduated the last year of school. I was at the New School. I took a lot of classes at like the New School for Jazz, and I was also a classically trained vocalist for a really long time as like an opera singer.
Yeah,
and So I have that background, and my background is classical training, classical guitar.
That's great.
But I've taken that. I've learn theory to the point where I can, you know, kind of make my way. I'm not saying that I'm a genius by any means, but I do try to take what I've learned and take an academic stance to it. So I'm always learning. I'm always looking up, all right, what is this chord progression? What's the best thing? Maybe if we add a seventh there and like a suspended second and fourth, you know, that'll add that tension to the chord.
Yes.
Always trying to find something that'll make it different.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's one thing about singers. You know, singing, the voice is the first instrument. For those of you who don't know, voice is the original instrument. All other instruments come second. So the voice is the most important method